The Omnitrix houses over 1 million alien DNA samples from across the Milky Way galaxy and beyond. But let's be real, Ben Tennyson barely scratched the surface of what this cosmic device could actually do. Today, we are playing God with the Watch. We are building the strongest, most versatile, and absolute most broken playlist possible by choosing strictly 10 of Ben's alien forms from the entire classic continuity, spanning from Season 1 all the way to the epic finale of Season 4. We aren't just picking random heavy hitters. We are carefully calculating a lineup to cover an entire matrix of survival and combat scenarios. By the end of this video, we will leave you with a 10 alien roster so strategically bulletproof that no villain in the galaxy will ever stand a chance. But before we reveal our first pick, let's lay down some strict ground rules to keep this fair. Rule number 1, we have a strict matrix of 15 essential tactical traits that must be fully covered by our choices. This includes speed, muscle, firepower, sound manipulation, invisibility, cloning, durability, and tech control. Rule number 2, we are strictly looking at base aliens. No ultimate forms allowed. Rule number 3, to preserve the absolute purity of the original lore, we are completely removing way big from the equation. Why? Because a 100-foot cosmic titan is a literal cheat code that ruins the strategy of a balanced 10-slot playlist. With the rules locked in, let's get straight to the exciting part of the video. To start building an invincible playlist, our very first slot must go to a cloning alien. Why is this trait a literal necessity? Because of the legendary Omnitrix glitch seen in the lore. If Ben splits into multiple clones, those clones can simultaneously switch into different aliens. Imagine an enemy having to fight a literal army of Ben's strongest forms all at once. Now, when looking at the classic series, our options for cloning are strictly between Ditto and Splixen variants. While some fans might lean towards saving a slot for raw sound manipulation elsewhere, we are locking in Ditto right here for our cloning core. Wielding a Splixen gives us the power of instantaneous infinite duplication. Ditto can create an entire army to overwhelm a target from every single angle, creating absolute battlefield chaos. The catch? Fandom lore confirms a major weakness. If one clone feels pain, they all feel it. But from a purely tactical standpoint, Ditto's ability to divide, conquer, and run absolute circles around psychological enemies makes him our essential strategic baseline. Next up, we need to address the hardening and extreme durability trait. When lasers are flying and buildings are collapsing, you can't just rely on dodging. You need a tank that can absorb planet-level punishment. Our candidates for the ultimate shield are traditionally Diamondhead or Cannonbolt. While Diamondhead is incredible, we are dedicating this specific defensive slot to Cannonbolt, the Arburian Pelorota unlocked back in Season 2. When Cannonbolt curls into his armored shell, his durability skyrockets to near invulnerable levels. He can withstand extreme environmental hazards, high atmospheric re-entry heat, and raw kinetic impacts that would pulverize any other life form. Need proof of his S-tier status? Look no further than the show's history. Cannonbolt stood as an absolute wall against high-tier threats like Kevin 11 in his mutated monster form, Zombozo, and even Vilgax himself. His ultimate feat was single-handedly destroying the Great One, a giant planet-eating alien tick, by bouncing inside its core and tearing it apart from the inside. He is our unstoppable kinetic juggernaut. Moving on to slot 3, we need an alien capable of handling exotic energy weapons, lasers, and environmental matter. If a villain fires a massive plasma cannon at you, dodging isn't enough. You want to weaponize that attack. The main contender here is the ravenous gourmand species, Upchuck, unlocked in Season 3. On the surface, he looks like a tiny, harmless creature, but lore-wise, Upchuck is utterly broken. His stomach is actually a gateway to an infinite pocket dimension. He can ingest absolutely anything, from solid alien tech to high-voltage energy blasts, neutralize its lethality, and immediately spit it back out as highly volatile, explosive plasma orbs. His benchmark feat in the original series is legendary. Upchuck literally swallowed the entire sub-energy core, an ancient power source capable of vaporizing a whole planet, and used its ridiculous power to obliterate Dr. Animo's machinery in one shot. By putting Upchuck on our watch, we turn the enemy's own firepower into our infinite ammunition. Now let's talk about a trait that can end a fight before it even begins. Speed. In a high-stakes tactical scenario, being faster than your opponent's reaction time is the ultimate advantage. When looking at the roster, some might argue for airborne speedsters, but for ground velocity, XLR8 is the undisputed king of the classic era. This Kinaceleran can accelerate up to a staggering 500 miles per hour in a fraction of a second. His speed is so immense that to the naked eye, time appears completely frozen around him. XLR8 can run up vertical walls, sprint across the surface of water without sinking, and manipulate friction to create massive localized tornadoes. Remember the iconic baseball episode where he manipulated an entire game, moving so fast that an entire stadium of people couldn't even register a blur? That level of speed means our character can disarm an entire army of villains before they can even blink. For slot 5, we need to introduce a heavy offensive trait, sound manipulation and sonic destruction. To cover this, we are looking at the highly aggressive Loboan DNA sample, Blitzwolfer, originally known as Benwolf from Season 3. While other aliens rely on projectiles, Blitzwolfer utilizes raw acoustic energy. His muzzle unhinges into 4 distinct quadrants to unleash a devastating sonic howl. This ultrasonic ripple wave is powerful enough to shatter solid rock, turn advanced metallic alloys into literal dust, and deflect oncoming physical attacks. Furthermore, Blitzwolfer possesses incredible natural agility, razor-sharp claws, and predatory instincts. He can even use the recoil of his sonic howl to propel himself backward through the air, making him an incredibly dynamic combatant that adds a terrifying layer of crowd control to our ultimate Omnitrix. We have speed, defense, and energy absorption, but what happens when a scenario requires pure, unadulterated brute force? You need a muscle core that can dominate in a phone booth fight. When comparing the strength options of the classic era, fans often debate between the cybernetic Frankenstrike or the combat-tested Tetramand, 4 Arms. While Frankenstrike has electricity, 4 Arms takes this slot for pure, reliable physical dominance. With 4 incredibly dense muscular arms and a highly durable exoskeleton, a Tetraman can lift objects weighing several tons like they are cardboard boxes. By slamming his hands together, he creates a high-pressure air shockwave that can blow back entire lines of enemies. Throughout the original series, whenever Ben faced giant mechanical drones, Vilgax's elite enforcers or underground mutant brawlers, 4 Arms was the go-to anchor that physically overpowered them all. He is our definitive S-tier melee fighter. Next, we must check off the fire and destruction traits. We need an alien that offers massive area of effect damage and extreme heat generation. Our options come down to the plant hybrid swamp fire from later eras versus the original purest expression of fire manipulation, Heatblast. For a classic playlist, the Pyronite DNA is an absolute monster. Heatblast is a living organism composed of inner plasma and volcanic rock, capable of projecting fire blasts that reach near supernova temperatures. He can manipulate ambient fire, absorb explosions to protect civilians, and melt solid steel structures into liquid slag instantly. Tactically, he isn't just grounded either. Heatblast can levitate a piece of volcanic rock beneath his feet to fly at high speeds, using it as a weaponized surfboard. His raw destructive potential is so vast that even as a toddler in the lore, his temper tantrums could trigger localized volcanic heat. He is our absolute master of firepower. For slot 8, we need a balance of unmatched tactical versatility, specifically an alien that can seamlessly switch between absolute defense and lethal offense in a split second. Enter the Petrosapien DNA sample, Diamondhead. His entire physiology is composed of an ultra-dense organic crystal that acts as a flawless mirror for high-powered laser beams and energy attacks, reflecting them right back at the shooter. But Diamondhead's real power lies in crystal manipulation. He can reshape his limbs into razor-sharp blades, shoot rapid-fire crystal shards like a biological machine gun, and erupt massive crystal constructs from the ground to trap enemies or shield an entire city block. Think back to his definitive lore feat. When Vilgax shattered Ben's chromastone form, it was Diamondhead who reformed, single-handedly outdueled the Universal Warlord, and pounded him straight into the dirt. That iconic victory completely solidifies his spot on our watch. So far, our Omnitrix is incredibly strong, but it lacks a stealth and psychological warfare warfare asset. What happens if an enemy's armor is too thick to pierce from the outside? You go inside. To cover the traits of invisibility, intangibility, and mind control, we are locking in the most terrifying alien in the entire classic continuity, Ghost Freak. As an ectoneurite, Ghost Freak can phase through solid walls, laser grids, and physical attacks, rendering him completely immune to conventional damage. He can turn entirely invisible to vanish from enemy sight and security tech, but his most broken ability is possession. Ghost Freak can slide inside a villain's physical body, hijack their motor functions, and force them to fight their own allies. Yes, he has a notable vulnerability to direct, intense sunlight, but when fighting in deep space, underground bases, or nighttime scenarios, Ghost Freak is an untouchable phantom that can dismantle an empire from within. We have covered muscle, speed, stealth, fire, sound, and duplication. For our 10th and final slot, we need an S-tier MVP that ties the entire watch together. An alien with massive multi-elemental versatility. With way big banned by our ground rules, the undisputed #1 spot goes to the Season 4 powerhouse, Eye Guy. This Opticoid is an absolute tactical cheat code. Because his entire upper torso is covered in giant eyes, he possesses a flawless 360-degree field of vision, making it physically impossible for an enemy to ambush him from behind. But his offensive output is where things get truly insane. Eye Guy can channel different elemental attributes through his eyes simultaneously, launching searing fire blasts, freezing ice rays, and high-voltage electrical lasers all at the exact same time. He can combine these beams into a single massive cosmic blast from his central chest eye. Eye Guy can counter almost any elemental threat in the universe, making him the ultimate tactical closer for our checklist. And there you have it, the mathematically flawless, highly strategic 10 alien Omnitrix playlist designed to survive any cosmic threat the classic universe can throw at you. By combining the infinite tactical glitch of Ditto's cloning with the elemental mastery of Eye Guy, the sheer speed of XLR8, and the unbreakable defense of Cannonbolt, this watch turns its wielder into an absolute god on the battlefield. But now, I want to hear from you guys. If you had to build a 10 alien playlist using only the classic series, which alien would you swap out? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to smash that subscribe button for more deep Ben 10 lore breakdowns, and click right on the screen right now to check out our next Ultimate roster analysis. See you guys in the next one. Bye.